7-3. So game 2 ready to go. Randy Wynn in the box, and Jake Peavy's first pitch of the night. A strike, says plate umpire Gary Cedarstrom, and we are underway. The switch hitting Wynn hits it on the ground towards the hole. Cabrera moves to his right. And one quick out in the Giants first.
Everett Cabrera, he's good. Saw him in spring training, that TV game. Remember he shut off that cannon?
He's got quite an arm. And right there, I thought he may have to backhand the ball, but feet quick enough to get to his right and get in front of it.
Bud Black said the other day, you know, he's one of those Rule 5 guys. You might see him more than you think, because a lot of teams will draft a Rule 5 guy and they'll kind of hide him on the bench just to get him through the year so they don't have to give him back. You're going to see a lot of this kid.
Renneria takes a strike, and it's 0-2 quickly. A 3 for 17 start for Renneria, his first in a Giants uniform.
Well, Jake's not wasting any time at all.
94 miles per hour on the heat. Another 0-2 pitch. Renneria, defensive swing with 2 strikes, sends it in the air to right, and Brian Giles towards the line for out number 2.
What a nice quick hander. Nice. We talked about opening day.
First 2 batters reached in a blink of an eye, and Manny Ramirez was up with 2 on, nobody out.
6 Dodgers came to the plate that first inning. A stolen base, a walk.
This time it's bases empty, 2 outs for the 3-hole hitter, which is Fred Lewis. He is hitting the ball very well to begin the season. 6 for 12. 2 balls, no strikes. Lewis began the series last night with a 1 for 3 game. He singled and walked once. Down the left field side, Headley coming towards the line, and in fair territory makes the catch. So a much different first tonight for Peavy than on opening day. The San Diego starting lineup was Scott Hairston once again leading off, playing center field, followed by Eck. Brian Giles batting in the 3 spot. Kind of an overlooked, very good offensive night last night for Brian. Adrian batting in the cleanup spot, followed by Coos, Headley, Blanco, Cabrera, and Peavy. Scott takes a strike, and it's Jonathan Sanchez, who's really a strikeout per inning guy. Good arm.
A live arm from the left side. You got Randy Johnson, the veteran guy, and then you got Sanchez, who was bouncing around between bullpen and starter last year. Whoa. And just before I get to his repertoire, I was going to talk about his fastball, his slurve, and a changeup. I know it's early on in the game, maybe trying to overthrow a little bit, but his fastball about 93, 94. Not really a curveball, not really a slider, so we'll call it a slurve, and a changeup.
Back at 94 with the fastball there. 252 strikeouts in 250 major league innings. This is his debut in 2009.
It's also nice to look at a pitcher's stats when they have fewer hits than innings. Sanchez had that last year.
And his career, 250 innings, 250 hits allowed. He's a 26-year-old from Puerto Rico, 6'2", 190-pounder. And on the hands of Hairston, he strikes out. The Giants defense has Sandoval playing third, Renneria at short, Bruce at second, and Ishikawa at first base. Fred Lewis in left field led Giant outfielders in assists. He has Rowan and Wynn also in the outfield with him tonight. David Eckstein. 4 for 17 to begin the season, which really doesn't even come close to telling you the whole story of what he has been doing offensively. Taking pitches, working counts.
I kind of like this matchup between Sanchez, the lefty, and righty. Eckstein, fastball that's pretty true and straight. Not really a yacker of a breaking ball, one that's off the table. And David Eckstein is one who could wait back on a changeup. So with 2 strikes, chances are Eckstein's going to try to poke it to right field. Look at that.
Trying to go that way, fouls it. 6 or 7 rows deep. Down that right field side.
Here's the big ragu, Dave Righetti. Big fan of the left-hander, always has been.
Top foul pass first, and a good play. And the gentleman in the first row reaching over. Eckstein with a couple of hits in last night's game, going 2 for 4 with a double. Scored a couple of runs and walked once. And on the hands, he swings and misses and strikes out. And Sanchez has fanned the first 2.
Sanchez is making me eat my words. That was a nice sharp breaking ball at 84, down and in towards the back shoe top. That's a quality pitch.
Ryan Giles makes a strike. When you look at the year for Sanchez last year, he was 8-4 going into the All-Star break. Working back, Giles grounds it to Sandoval, and Sanchez, just like Peavy, has a 3-up, 3-down first. Nothing across after 1.
anniversary pillowcase.
That's right, Nick. Pillowcases tomorrow afternoon right here at Petco Park. The 105 game, the finale of this series and of the homestand. It's Bruce Bochy's Giants, top of the second. Benji Molina leading off, and a quick 0-2 counts.
Hopefully we see a lot of 0-2 counts quickly tonight from Jake Peavy. We saw one last half inning. Keep the ball away. Oh.
He got away with one there, right to Kuzman off the third. Pitch he could pull. Grounds out hard. Peavy will face Pablo Sandoval, the switch hitting third baseman. Off the corner for ball one to Sandoval. He went 1 for 4 in the opener last night. His base hit was a 6th inning single.
Well, you know, Mark Neely, you kind of look at the first 5 games, right? Jake Peavy making his second start. And you can kind of evaluate 1 through 5 what the pitchers have done for San Diego. And the one thing that sticks out in my mind, they've been making some quality pitches, 1 through 5, the starters.
Absolutely.
I mean, the 3-2 record is great. Dodger lineup, supposed to be a potent lineup. Starters, relievers alike. You have to see, or you have to like what you see, especially Sean Hill making a good start last night.
Shot foul, left side up into the seats. Yeah, Peavy and Chris Young obviously are the knowns in this rotation. And it's only one time through, but Walter Silva, Correa, and then Hill last night, all with nice starts. And first time through the rotation.
Darren Balsley very happy with the results after the first 5 games. That guy lives and dies with every pitch. Loves his pitchers. Sticks up for his pitchers, and rightfully so. That's what a pitching coach should be. And the left-hander Barry Zito, who pitched for the Giants last night, struggled early on.
Yeah, every game in this series features a Cy Young Award winner. Headley in left field. 2 outs. We have Zito there on the left, pitched last night, won the 0-2 Cy Young in the American League. There, Lincecum on the right, who won it last year in the National League, of course. Peavy going tonight. Won it prior to Lincecum. Of course, Randy Johnson's one of you. We won't see Randy in this series, but we'll see him soon enough down the road.
You know, I want to take back what I said about Barry Zito. Not take it back, but kind of just rephrase it. I said he struggled last night. You know, he had a rough first, but you know what? Remember there was a few hits where he made good pitches and there were flares for base hits.
Right. Really,
threw a lot of pitches early.
Ball hit by Giles was the one that was well struck. The others kind of found holes.
Yeah, 39 pitches in the first inning for Zito last night.
Travis Ishikawa singled in 4 at-bats last night, making him 4 for 13 on the season. Two and two.
Oh, the slider's biting tonight. Looks like a fastball, and then the slider at the end. Feels like a pump. Looks like a sneaker. Or is it the other way around?
I think you had the marketing slogan correct.
Looks like a pump. Feels like a sneaker. That's Jake Peavy's slider. Such tight rotation. He throws it so hard that it has the illusion of a fastball, and then the last second, bang. Nice tilt at the end.
Got him. And the first strikeout for Peavy. They sent down the first 6 San Francisco hitters.
Be at Petco Park on Saturday, April 25th, as we take on the Pirates at 7:05 and take home your own free Padres 1969 replica jersey.
That's right, Jake. Replica jersey night, Saturday the 25th against the Bucks. And you saw the walk-up crowd. That was a live look outside the ballpark. Take another peek. Wow. They're still waiting to get in to see Peavy and the Padres tonight. Adrian Gonzalez leading off, and it's 0-2.
That line there, you know what that reminded me of?
Tell me.
After a packed house at the big up in Montreal at P9, waiting to get on the Metro after a game against the Expos.
That's what that reminded you of.
Yeah.
Adrian lays off and takes high.
There it is. That's great, though, huh?
One, two to Adrian. Fouls that back to the screen. I'm sure there are some guys that miss going to Montreal.
I do. Love the town. Customs I can do without. And you know what? If that's the least of our problems, that's the worst of the problems, going through customs. Me being a crybaby. I love going up there.
Adrian takes inside. I have come across more than one big league player that married a local girl up there from Montreal.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Gonzalez, Kuzminoff, and Headley. And that strikeout already the third of the game for Jonathan Sanchez.
That sweeping breaking ball, that slurve, if you want to call it that, seems like it may be the pitch of the night for Sanchez. We're going to take a look how Sanchez went after Adrian via the Carlos Jr. pitch track. First pitch, high heater. Being aggressive, pounding the zone. Now he's wanting him to fish for it. That is a tough pitch. He missed high, and he went right back to it, location down and away. So it looked like hard stuff in and soft stuff away from Sanchez.
Kuzminoff takes a strike on the outer half.
Jim LeFevre said before the game that Sanchez is one of those guys that can elevate the ball at times, but when he elevates, the chances are the fastball is going to be out of the zone because he pushes the ball a little bit. He works underneath the baseball a little bit. Sometimes he'll work underneath. What I mean underneath, some pitchers are taught to be up top. They'll work through the ball this way. Sometimes he can work this way. So therefore, the ball will go up in the zone. So if it looks up here, it's going to end up here. So that's what you have to lay off. Jim Lefevre said we got to look down in the zone. Make him bring the fastball down and stay on top of the ball and hit the hard line drive, hit the hard grounder. If it's up here, out in front, it's going to end up here. So lay off of it.
Well, right now, Bud, we've got 2 starting pitchers. Good fastballs, good breaking balls tonight.
Pitchers duel, love them. Love a pitchers duel.
Chase Headley. Two of his hits on the season. He's in the hole. High and off the glove of Molina.
See what I mean by that last one? He may have overthrown that one a little bit, but the way his arm angle was and where the ball ended up. Kind of throwing uphill a little bit on that one, it looked like.
Almost like it's rising. 1-2 pitch. Wow. Jonathan Sanchez strikes out the side, and he has fanned 5 of the first 6 Padres hitters. There's still 5.
With a bang with Friday Fireworks. Enjoy a spectacular fireworks show following every Friday home game.
That's right, Eck. Next one coming up Friday, April 24th after the Bucks-Padres game. Got to make sure you come out for that. You know, have you looked at the pocket schedule? I mean, after tomorrow's game, Padres go on the road to New York, Philadelphia, and San Francisco, come home for 3 against the Pirates, and then go back on the road.
Great scheduling, isn't it?
I know sarcasm when I hear it.
Enough time to get the laundry done and get the dry cleaning taken care of. No, they're always open on Sundays, right?
Well, the good part of the road trip coming up is that we'll see the new ballpark in Flushing.
I'm anxious to see Citi Field, absolutely.
On Monday.
Good pitch by Jake. It looks like he's got the blinders on, like the racehorse coming around that last turn and heading home. Good control by both pitchers tonight.
Aaron Rowan bounces it out to Eckstein. David. Lob it out at first. All right, if you're Jake Peavy, you're already a guy who's won a Cy Young Award of all these accolades. But here's Jonathan Sanchez, who's coming to your park, struck out 5 of the first 6 Padres batters, and has shown that he's got pretty good stuff tonight. Certainly, Jake. What's going through his mind?
Jake's got to stick to his stuff, and I think he knows that. Jake is so good, like any pitcher, Randy Johnson, Barry Zito, whoever the case may be, pitches at this level. No matter how good you are, you have to stay within yourself and not try to do too much because it can backfire for the best of them.
Dismissed to Burris for ball one.
And Jake's barking at himself, and that's a good sign. You know what's great about Jake, and we've mentioned this many times before in years past, he's good enough to rebound and bounce back the next pitch. Like, that is the perfect example. First pitch, totally out of whack, according to Jake. Airs himself out on the mound, and what did he do the next pitch? Buried a slider down and in and tied up the hitter for the out.
Now, you and I were talking to Larry Boa during the Dodgers series, and of course Larry's a guy who can be a bit tempestuous. And it was interesting to hear Larry Boa say, you know what I like coming here when Peavy's on the mound is watching Jake get mad at himself. You know, just like we just saw right there.
Exactly.
Ball one to Sanchez.
You know, I think Jake has also learned, by example, that last pitch. He missed ball one, right? That fastball we just saw right down the middle was 90 miles an hour. You know, throttle it back a little bit, and it doesn't have to be maximum effort each and every time. If you need a strike and you can locate it, hey, back off a little bit. You can't strike a guy out with one strike, right?
Yeah, that can't be done yet.
No, I've yet to see that.
1-2. And his counterpart, Jonathan Sanchez. Goes to the breaking ball, and it's low. Maybe now at 35 pitches. Coming up here in the third. His second strikeout. As Peavy has retired the first 9 San Francisco hitters. We've got to see a base runner in this game. We've got a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel brewing here at Petco. Brought to you in part by Lolita's Mexican Restaurants and their new location, Lolita's at the Park, just across from Petco. By MTS, save gas, save money, ride MTS to Petco Park. For more information, log on to www.sdmts.com. And by MLB09, the show only on PlayStation. Look at downtown, and we go to the bottom of the third. First pitch swinging, fouled off by Henry Blanco.
There's a gentleman to our right, next level down, brought his glove to the yard, right in his mitt, and he could not hang on to it.
Now, he does have an ice cream in the other hand, though, doesn't he?
There he is. He held on to the ice cream, but he dropped the ball. Right in the breadbasket. Clank.
And then down below, and that's to left field. Gone! Blanco lines one out of here. His first Padres hit is a home run. 1-0 San Diego.
Well, that'll rally the troops in the Padres dugout. And Henry Blanco all over a 1-1 pitch. Sanchez has been aggressive in the zone. Kind of tough to tell what that pitch was there. It looked like a fastball to you?
I thought so.
That might have been a changeup.
Yeah.
Was that a changeup? That ball didn't look like it had life on it. It kind of slowed up his arm just a tad. And if that's the case, you speed up the bat of Henry Blanco. He was out in front of it. You know what? Final decision. Changeup. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Everett Cabrera batting. Swing and a miss. You know, people will ask, what's the toughest pitches to tell the difference? And for me, from back here, if a pitcher's got a really good changeup, fastball changeup.
Right.
Down the line and right. Away into foul territory, makes the catch around the bullpen mound. If you got a guy that can really sell a good changeup.
Oh, you mean as far as like if you took the ball out of the equation, just watching the pitcher's motion?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, arm speed is key.
Yeah.
The same. And what I try to preach to, if kids ask me, if anybody asks me, is when you talk about the changeup.
Peavy's a piece of the barrel splinters off.
Everything is the same on the change. It should be every pitch. From here down. Your delivery, your leg kick, your motion. The only thing that's different is if you hold your two-seamer like this, you go to the changeup grip. If you throw the two-seamer, you throw the curveball, it's like that. You throw the slider, it's like that. Everything from here all the way down is the same. It's just that. The arm speed is the same. And you're right. If the guy has everything that's duplicate, fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, but the grip is different, obviously, to manipulate the ball, that's what makes good pitchers that can do that so tough to hit.
Another right center field. And another opportunity for Wynn.
Sometimes I'll tell kids, with your changeup grip, overthrow it for me a couple times. I mean, really, really throw it. To get that feel, I don't want them to slow it up. Because guys think changeup, okay, it's a slower pitch, I got to slow up my arm. No. Your grip will slow up the baseball. Throw it as hard as your fastball.
Back to the top of the order, and Scott Hairston, the center fielder. 3 for 5 in last night's game against the Giants with that home run, 3 RBIs.
Let's take a look. That's a fastball that swung on a tip. Here's the changeup. You can see the ball just kind of, float out just a little bit softer. And maybe he slowed up his arm speed just a tad. And if you're a big league hitter, some guys might have difficulty with that, but some guys can pick that up. I think the case with Henry Blanco was a classic case of just speeding up his bat. What I mean by that is the ball coming in slower, right? He's thinking fastball. You just speed up the guy's bat. The bat gets to a further point out in front to where he can catch up to the changeup, and that's where he hit it out of the ballpark.
So the fastball we've seen from Sanchez tonight, chances are Blanco's not going to line that out, pull it out to left field.
Exactly. And we'll have to see next time if Sanchez faces Blanco, if he gives him the old heater.
Ricky ball down low. And that's the only blemish in this game, is the home run hit by Blanco. 1-0 San Diego, last of the third. Hairston lines it down the left field side, but it's going to hook foul.
Oh, did you see the ball girls wearing helmets now?
Yes.
Were they wearing that the whole... Nina's sporting the helmet now. Oh, there's Kat wearing the helmet.
Ran into Nina the other night at Leah Tobin's going away party. Full count now on Scott Hairston. Fanned his first time. 3-2 pitch. A 2-out walk to Hairston. First walk allowed by Sanchez.
I think this is a good combination for the Padres. 2 outs, you draw a walk. Now you've got a guy like David Eckstein. Sure, he struck out last time up, but Sanchez out of the stretch. Let's see if he gives him a battle here.
Eckstein fanned his first time. Let's see how Sanchez indeed fares pitching out of the stretch for the first time. David takes a strike. He's been seeing a lot of pitches. Number of pitches seen this season. Got 3 Padres on that list. Adrian Eck and Giles.
That's one of the things that Jim Lefebvre was talking about before the game around the batting cage. One of the things that really impressed Jimmy, especially in that Dodgers series, but the Padres had fewer strikeouts than the Dodgers lineup. We got the pitch count up. Clayton Kershaw, 105 pitches after 5 innings. It's a collective thing. The lineup, it wasn't just one guy, it was the whole lineup getting into the act. There's Frenchie.
There goes Hairston, and fouled back by Eck.
In fact, Mike Trussell, the angry statistician, informed me that David Eckstein had a 13-pitch at bat against Clayton Kershaw. That'll drive pitchers nuts.
Pitch out, nothing doing this time. By the way, new rule today, Major League Baseball. Ball girls have to start wearing helmets as of today.
It started today.
Today. Security guards are on their own, though.
Huh.
1-2 pitch. Close. 2-2. Leadoff home run in this inning from Blanco. 1-0 San Diego, bottom of the third. A 2-out walk to Scott Hairston. Ishikawa playing in front of him at first.
Send him.
Able to get back to the bag and take the throw.
With Hairston leading off first base, he can get off as far, maybe a step farther than Ishikawa, and then just move accordingly. If he goes back to the bag, he can go back.
Next time went around. 6 strikeouts for Sanchez, but the home run by Blanco. 1-0 San Diego. fill in the blank question here. Numerically, Tim Flannery was in his blank major league season when he hit his first major league home run.
You sound like Gene Rayburn on match game 75.
Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Riley. Tim Flannery, of course, spent his entire playing career with the Friars.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Line into left field, and there's the first Giants hit, and it skips past Headley. Wynn will scoot into second.
Well, that's no shocker that Randy Wynn trying to go the other way. Mentioned it earlier in the series. That pitch has a little run out. Stays on kind of the same plane. Not a sinker that has a little tilt to it. Just out of the reach of Chase. And that ball off the bat of Wynn is slicing. So it hits that grass. It's got that rotation on it, slicing away. Randy's second double of the year.
And that gets through the right side for Renneria. Wynn stopped at third with nobody out. And after retiring the first 9 Giants hitters, Peavy now dealing with first and third, nobody out here in the San Francisco fourth.
Renteria swinging early in the count as well. That's just good, solid hitting, especially against a guy like Jake Peavy. Rather than trying to pull the ball, guy on the second base leadoff double, you hit the ball to the right side to get to the guy over. It's just an added bonus that it goes through for a base knock.
Well, Lewis flying to left in the first, but has hit safely in each of the 4 previous games this year for the Giants. Lewis with 1 hit last night in 3 at-bats. One pitch from Jake. 0-2. Lewis hit .282 a year ago for the Giants. 9 homers and 40 RBIs. 133 games. A career high, his first really as an everyday player. And he did have his season cut short due to an injury to his right toe, big toe. Takes that high. A season-ending surgery on the toe. Breaking ball in the dirt is blocked by Blanco. Blanco's home run in the bottom of the third has put the Padres up, but that lead in jeopardy here in the fourth. Leadoff double by Wynn. Renneria singled.
Heads up. This is where Jake needs to go for the punch out. You got 2 strikes, then you keep the double play in order. And he tried to two-seam that fastball in the inner half of the plate. Up into 2 strikes, make a quality pitch. Maybe get a grounder. You get 2, maybe you give up a run. But now with 2 strikes, nobody out. First and third. Trying to go for that punch out.
Might go out to talk with Peavy. Another 2-2. Got him.
That's huge.
Third strikeout for Peavy in the first out of the inning.
That's the Jake Peavy we know and love. Starts a slider on the inner half of the plate and then out of the zone back towards the shoe tops. Looking at 3 to 5 mandatory, Lewis. Big punch out for Jake.
Reggie Molina, the catcher. Check on Renteria.
Remember last at bat, Mark, about how Molina had something soft middle in. He grounded to third, but I think Jake may have gotten away with a pitch. Let's see if they try to keep the ball consistently away from Molina.
Pull that, strike one.
Two-seamer away that comes back over the heart of the plate. Outer third. And Benji Molina a little tardy on that one.
First and third, one out in the Giants' fourth. Pitch out, runner going. Now here comes the runner back to the plate, and he'll score to tie the game. Run down Renteria is tagged out, but Wynn scored. Well, Blanco, as soon as he reared back to throw to first, Wynn blazed to the plate and scored to tie it up.
Yeah, Henry didn't even flash look to third base to check the runner. From his vision peripherally, I'm just guessing he saw that Renteria was running. Let's watch. Oh, the runner at third doesn't even break stride. Henry Blanco never even looked at the runner at third. He just assumed he was going to stay put. And the Giants get a run out of it.
Yeah, glance to third, and Wynn becomes the rundown.
Right.
Low line at second is caught at the shoe tops by Eckstein. But the Giants do tie the game. They get a run on 2 hits. First major league home run. It was in his 5th season. And it came on April 26, 1983 at Wrigley Field. A solo shot.
And I guarantee it, Wrigley Field, you said?
Yep.
The wind must have been blowing out.
Must have been blowing out. Chuck Rainey's who gave it up late in the season. He hit a grand slam in San Diego against the Cubs' Fergie Jenkins.
Love to talk baseball with Flan. Out here early, every time, every game, checking out the scenery at the ballpark as far as the conditions of the park. He's out here for batting practice, checking out the arms of the outfielders, who's hitting well in the batting cages. He's just a real student of the game.
Giles pulls it foul. Tim Flannery. And the 1984 team won the National League Championship. And of course, hit the ground ball that lives in infamy in Cubs history. Leon Durham error. Tony Gwynn double. Game 5 of the 84 NLCS. One here in the bottom of the fourth. Giles, Adrian Gonzalez, and Kuzminov with Jonathan Sanchez. Jonathan Sanchez hooked up in a good one here. Giles works the leadoff walk. Second one allowed by Sanchez. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Adrian Gonzalez. Hit safely in 4 consecutive games. 0 for 1 so far tonight. This might be a pair. Burris to Renteria to Ishikawa, 4-6-3. That's the first double play the Padres have grounded into all season. And it comes in the 6th game of the year.
Good turn on the infield, and Adrian Gonzalez does not have blazing speed, so it allows the infielders to kind of take their time a little bit. Crisp, firm. Good turn on the double play.
Padres have turned 6, but now hit into their first of the season. Base is empty, 2 outs for Kuzminov. By the way, Randy Wynn, who came home on what was a caught stealing of Renteria that went 2-3-4. So Wynn, in essence, scoring on what is a fielder's choice. He doesn't get a steal of home. It does score the tying run. An interesting play by Wynn.
It was an interesting play. And I'm sure nobody feels worse than Henry Blanco. Because from his vantage point behind home plate, the runner's going. As soon as he caught that ball, it was a pitch out. You know, he's eyeing the runner. He's thinking, oh my gosh, I've got a free out right here. But didn't flash look to third base. And tell you what.
Well, maybe that's the genius of the play for Randy Wynn.
Wynn never broke. Once he started, he never broke stride.
Because if you're Henry Blanco, you certainly don't expect the runner from third to be coming home on that play.
Here's the pitch out. You can see Henry just, as soon as he gives up the rock, then he kind of looks at third and thinks, oh, you know what? I think I may have made a mistake.
There's a really good look here.
Yeah, look at Wynn just keeps coming. Doesn't stop.
You saw Kuz come over to cover third, so had a glance come that way. They had Wynn in a rundown, but Wynn just broke for the plate. Here's ball 4 to Kuzminov. And you look at what Wynn had to risk in that situation. It worked out for him because he scored. If he gets in a rundown, maybe he stays in long enough where Renteria gets to third anyway.
It's a wash. Right.
So that's the play he he elected and it worked out for the Giants.
Oh, you know
Heads up play for him.
Again, nobody feels worse than Henry Blanco, and believe me, he's probably thinking ahead. How can I help this team maybe get that run back, maybe throw out another runner? But he will not. He's such a pro that he will not let it affect him. He's not going to let it affect the game he calls for Jake Peavy when he gets behind home plate.
Big rip by Headley. Chase fanned in the second. He's 0 for 1. Big check on Kuzmanov. Fouled back. Switch hitting Headley. 3 hits and 21 at bats so far in the season. Giants tied it with a run in the top of this 4th inning. These teams wrap up the series here tomorrow afternoon with the 105 game. Lincecum against Chris Young.
Going to throw over to first base right here.
Nope. Comes home. Check swing. They ask for the appeal. No cut, says Brian O'Nora.
Check it from the side. You always get a good angle. No, I don't think he went. Nope. And I call him as I see him. He did not go.
This time a check on Kuz, even though Ishikawa dropped the ball. Padres have only 1 hit. The Blanco home run. Peavy has given up 2 hits so far. The back-to-back hits by Wynn and Renteria in the top of this inning. 7 strikeouts for Jonathan Sanchez. 4 innings complete, and it's 1-1.
Construction. If you're looking for a company that'll give you a great value, call my friends at Murray Lampert Construction, dedicated to 100% customer satisfaction since 1975. Or get on the web at murraylampert.com.
5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Giants' 5th. Pablo Sandoval leading off. Peavy retired the first 9 Giants batters before Wynn led off the 4th with a double. Trying to paint that inside corner, but missed. The ball and a strike. Sandoval, Ishikawa, and then Rowan in the Giants' 5th. Reaching out, bounces it left side. And Kuzmanov is playing off the line, able to get to his left and throw out Sandoval.
But Sandoval batting from the left side. He's not going to make anybody forget about Ricky Henderson, but for his size, he can get down the line nicely. But that play right in front of Kuzmanov, going to his left, of course, but right in front of him, the play being first base, makes a nice, easy throw. Lateral movement to his left.
Strike 1 to Travis Ishikawa. And 2 the count. He is one of 3 strikeout victims tonight for Peavy. Now he becomes the first multiple strikeout victim. That's 4 overall for Peavy.
Oh, now that pitch had a little bit more tilt to it. That almost looked like a hard curveball because the tilt went straight down. It wasn't like a sweeper.
And Rowan takes a strike. A homer and 4 RBIs for Rowan. 1-1. Line out of reach of Everett Cabrera and into left center field. On with his first hit of the series. Hit number 3 for the Giants.
Well, Aaron Rowan has been getting a heavy dose of sliders down and away. This one's just elevated a little bit. I don't even think there was no chance for Cabrera to get that one. Good effort by the Rule 5 shortstop.
Daniel Burris, the second baseman, is 0 for 1 with a ground out. He misses away ball 1. Burris began the season 0 for 10 before a couple of hits last night. In fact, he reached base all 4 times up, 2 hits and 2 walks, and scored twice.
Speaking of offers to start the season, I heard an interesting nugget the other day. Robin Ventura, when he first got called to the big leagues, 0 for 41. Ouch, babe.
Ouch.
He had a pretty decent career, didn't he?
Of course, he had the humongous hitting streak when he was in
Oklahoma
college.
State, right?
Yeah. Was it like
it was 60-something?
Yeah, it beat the DiMaggio streak, though collegiate. 0 for 41. Burris, swing and a miss. Willie Mays, actually.
Yeah, he struggled
initially.
Yeah.
I remember him talking that he actually hit a home run. I believe it was off of Warren Spahn that kind of got him going.
58-game hitting streak for Robin Ventura when he was at Oklahoma State University.
Is it 87? 1987? Fouled off.
I'll have to look that up. '87.
Maybe trying to end this top of the 5th.
See if Henry Blanco and Jake get on the same page here. Hook 'em horns, slider, fastball away. Slider.
5 strikeouts for PB. 1 hit, 1 left. It's the first base runner stranded by the Giants. We're at the midpoint of the 5th.
Hey, Artie, check out the guy on the sombrero.
That one was just laid right out on the tee for you.
When are we going to go up to Valley View for the buffet? We'll crush it next
Soon.
homestand.
During our massive 3-game homestand
How about
over
the
the
next
weekend.
one? Best buffet around.
Yeah. Henry Blanco leading off, homered. Leading off the 3rd. That's been the only Friars hit, the only Friars run. Take a closer look at this pitch. Convinced that's a changeup now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Lined it out to left. His first hit as a Padre. Taking on 3-0.
You know what's great about the game of baseball, especially these days? So much turnover with guys on teams. You know, I remember Henry Blanco when he was with the Cubs and other teams.
Has he done it again? Henry's gone yard twice. And it's 2-1 San Diego. A 2-homer night for Henry Blanco. The 3rd of his career.
Now that looked like a fastball that was down. Just dropping that hand. Oh, there was no doubt about that one. That was upper tank, front row. Put another notch in the shillelagh for Henry. Yeah, there's a lot of love in that dugout. You bet. Mucho amor aquí on Mexico opening night.
Cabrera to right field. And Randy Wynn for the first out. Home run number 2 for Blanco. He hit number 1 on a changeup, so he's thinking, you know what, he's going to throw me some gas.
Maybe you know what, that's a great way of looking at it and thinking. Maybe he was looking for the old number 1, but he went down and got that one. Man. Bet you Henry feels a little better now, huh?
He led off the 3rd with a homer. He leads off the 5th with a home run. Peavy takes up high. Big fly to right in the third. Two and one. Henry Blanco's multi-homer game. As Peavy walks. They walked allowed by Sanchez. Leave Rigetti out of the dugout.
You know, early in the game, remember Sanchez was very aggressive in the strike zone.
By the way, for Henry Blanco, his last multi-homer game, almost exactly 5 years to the day. April 10th, 2004 at Detroit. When he was a member of the Twins his 1 year with Minnesota.
You know what's great about Henry Blanco? You know, the home run was great, right? He does a nice job, and he's proven it throughout his career that, okay, it's done and over with. I'm not going to dwell on it. Hey, you know, look at me, home run, whatever, you know. He's got to go call a ball game.
Even a miss by Hairston. By the way, he hit the home runs. One off Jason Johnson, one off Danny Patterson.
Danny Patterson.
He's a name from the past. I mean, they remember Danny Patterson as a Ranger. He had a little Tigers time. 0-2. Next guy waiting on deck. Nick on deck with Hairston 0 for 1. He has struck out and walked.
That sounds like a good, possibly a pregame show on Channel 4. Eck on deck.
Eck on deck? Do we just have a moment of creativity?
He can host it and, you know, maybe talk something other than baseball. Maybe hobbies of his teammates or.
Wow. I know where this is going. As long as it means less work for Mud.
Yeah.
No, that's a good idea. Time called by Hairston.
Or, you know, like on Letterman, how they have these little snippets, like great quotes of presidential history, whatever, and it's like either, it could be one word, just have that. On deck with Eck. You have him, like, say a sentence or give a thought or, you know, whatever. It could be 5 seconds. It's beautiful. Sorry about the marketing genius of my ground.
Feeling it. He's on at first with 1 out. 2-1 Padres in the fifth. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded towards third. Knocked down. Picked up Sandoval. Late to second. Well, Sandoval from his backside skipped it across to Burris, but not able to get Peavy at second base.
Well, Hotsman, that's a two-hopper, and it's that difference, the little difference there. Jake Peavy being safe or out at second base. Good hustle by Jake, even though the play was not made cleanly.
Scored an infield hit for Hairston. The batter is Eckstein. Sanchez has had his number a couple of times so far.
I see a double down the right field line right here.
Two balls, no strikes. Got the rally sombrero on. 3-0.
Nice discipline right there by David Eckstein. You know, out of the hand of Sanchez, that fastball looks like it's a meaty fastball, but as I mentioned earlier, sometimes he'll push that up and away with the right-handers, and by the time it gets to the plate, it's well out of the strike zone.
A 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the inning and 4th of the game from Jonathan Sanchez, and it loads the bases. And they're loaded up for Brian Giles. Metters begins to heat in the San Francisco bullpen.
We're going to take a look at the home run swings of Henry Blanco on the left and on the right. The one on the left is a changeup, and the one on the right, I believe, is a fastball. Wow. Good swings by Henry Blanco.
Career with the bases loaded. He's unloaded him 5 times. Sanchez from the full windup. He pours in strike 1. Ryan facing Sanchez. Giles grounded out in the first and walked in the 4th. Down low, ball and a strike. San Diego 2, San Francisco 1. Friars have the bases loaded. With 1 out in the last of the 5th. Part of the order up. Outside to Giles, 2-1. Big pitch coming from Sanchez.
5th inning seemed to be a mystery. Jonathan Sanchez getting through the 5th inning. Or Bob Scanlon mentioned in the pregame show about the 5th inning, how he did not get past the 5th inning many times last year.
That's into shallow center. Rowan coming on, makes the catch, bluffing a tag from 3rd, and then holding is Peavy. It's a big out for Sanchez and the Giants.
Huge out. So let's check out the Carl's Jr. pitch track. Lefty on lefty. Oh, pitch off the plate, call a strike. But Bryant's not biting at those pitches that he tries to pound the strike zone down. That was the one pitch. It was middle in. It was elevated. Just could not get that top hand on top of that pitch for the pop-up.
He's has loaded 2 outs for Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian is struck out and grounded into a double play. Breaks his bat. Ball goes foul. Bat went out near second base. At least the barrel of the bat did.
Off the end. Snap. Or did he get jammed on that one? I thought it was off the end.
Towards right center field. Will that find the alley? Yes, it will. It is cut off quickly by Wynn. Here comes Eckstein, the throw to the plate, safe! Adrian Gonzalez, a 3-run double.
And on Adrian Gonzalez long sleeve t-shirt night, everybody's fired up. Breaks his bat, goes to get a new shillelagh, and drops one in for 3 runs. We've seen some great approaches tonight. We've seen some great approaches this home series as Glenn Hoffman waves home David Eckstein. The Padres kind of break it open here in the 5th.
Rays, 23 branches in San Diego County. Our mission is your mission. Brandon Metters, the new pitcher for San Francisco.
5-pitch pitcher for Brandon Metters. Fastball, cutter, slider, a curve, and a change. High 80s, low 90s. Limited action this year for Bruce Bochy. Looks like Metters just motioned to Molina that have a little difficulty picking up the signs against those gray unis.
Kuzmanoff takes a strike. 5-1 San Diego here in the bottom of the 5th. After the 3-run double from Adrian Gonzalez here with 2 outs. Cruz has struck out and walked 0 for 1.
You know what's nice about this Padre offense?
I can think of many things, but I'd like to hear what's on your mind, Ned.
But multiple run innings. 4 tonight in the 5th. On Friday night, last night, 3 in the 1st.
And 3 in the 8th.
Yep.
3 in the 8th on Thursday afternoon.
Wednesday, a couple in the 5th. Tuesday, 3 in the 6th. It's a good sign.
Very good sign. I'm going to argue right now the 3 in the 8th on Thursday to come from behind, beat the Dodgers, and split that series. Right now is the biggest half inning of the season so far.
I concur.
Cruz sends it in the air, down the line and right. Randy Wynn in fair territory. But 8 men come to the plate. Henry Blanco has hit not 1, but 2 out of the yard tonight. It's 5-1 San Diego. On Padres.com for your chance to enter the Padres Memories Contest. The Padres will be selecting 13 winners throughout the season to win a special prize pack. So visit Padres.com and share your favorite memory today. Strike 1 to Velez, who came in as part of the double switch with the new pitcher Metters. Metters went into the 8 slot. And Eugenio Velez went into the 9 spot vacated by the starting pitcher Sanchez. Velez takes a strike. Eugenio Velez. Taken down in the dirt. Jonathan Sanchez with 4 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 hits. He walked 5 and struck out 7. Velez not on strikes, and that's 6 for Peavy.
Oh, yeah. Put up another K. There you go. Backdoor slider on the half shell. See ya.
Top of the order, Randy Wynn taking down low. Wynn doubled in the 4th, which was the first Giants hit, as Peavy had sent down the first 9 San Francisco hitters of the game.
It's nice to give the Alabama Slammer some breathing room. You know? Jake looking at a 5-1 lead here as we go to back half of this game.
Two-0 pitch.
Hey,
right back through the box and into center field. Randy Wynn has 2 of the 4 San Francisco hits tonight. Maria has a hit into at bats. Looks at it low.
What a huge turnaround for Jonathan Sanchez in this ball game. The first 2 innings, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 80% strikes. The last 2 2/3, 5 walks and 66 pitches, 33 and 33. Opposite ends of the spectrum.
Strictly a command issue?
Command issue. You bet.
He came out of the chute looking like he and PB be putting up nothing but zeros late into this game. There's a bouncy ball to short. Cabrera, Eckstein, Gonzalez. 6-4-3 ends the inning. As the Friars turn their first double play of the night and 7th of the season. A hit, nobody left after 5.5. 5-1, San Diego. Field upper box, a right field upper reserve ticket, and enjoy your favorite ballpark foods, all for one low price. The all-you-can-eat menu includes hot dogs or veggie dogs, nachos, popcorn, ice cream, novelties, and fountain sodas. And you can get your tickets today at Padres.com as we look at Balboa Park from a distance.
Always a great shot. So many great beauty shots from our vantage point here at Petco Park.
Headley leading off the last of the 6th and sends one to dead center field. Rolling back and gone. First of the year for Chase. 6-1 San Diego. He had 9 in 91 games a year ago and hits number 1 in 2009.
Didn't like the first pitch. 1-0 fastball. Oh, yeah. Great extension. Nice looking swing and going to the Friar bullpen. Wake up the boys out there saying, hey, we got ourselves a ball game going on.
third solo homer of the game for the Padres. The other two belonging to this man, Henry Blanco. And Friar catchers have had hit two homers in a game 17 times in club history. Blanco tonight, most recently Mike Piazza in 2005, but you go back. It hasn't been all that common of an occurrence, but Blanco has done it tonight. Josh Bard, John Flaherty, Benito Santiago on that list going back the last 17 years. They've all been solo homers for one very good reason, Bud, and that is they've all let off the inning. Chopped to third, foul.
Well, Henry Blanco hit a changeup out. He's hit a fastball out. Watch righty on righty. Metters. Henry has to protect with 2 strikes.
Headley's blast estimated at 399 feet. He bounces past Molina. Well, the Padres had come into this game having hit 2 home runs on the season in 5 total games. They've hit 3 tonight. Breaks his bat and loops it into left. The third hit for Henry Blanco.
3 líneas. Línea for Henry Blanco. And I hate those maple bats. And I cringe every time this happens. Players on the field, people in the stands. What a night for Henry Blanco.
He's going to have a chance for a 4-hit game, which he's accomplished 3 times in his career.
Whoa, Benjamin Molina almost blocks that one.
Get crossed up here?
Yeah, I don't think he got crossed up. Just man, I don't know whether
nobody at second.
Who knows? Yeah. It's a straight fastball.
Strike call.
Don't get me wrong. Catching's a tough duty. And it's not like I'm picking on Benjamin Molina. It's tough as it is already. Once in a while, even the great ones are going to, you know, miscatch one, if that's a word, right?
Down the left field line. Foul by about 3 or 4 feet. When you pitched.
I did?
Well, that's the rumor.
I feel a question coming on.
All in all, I mean, day in, day out, catching, toughest position on the field.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. You have to produce with the bat. You know what I'm saying? Try to maintain a decent batting average. You got to throw runners out. You got to block balls. You got to
pitching staff.
You got to call games. You got to know each individual pitcher, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. And it's a lot to handle.
Blocked by Molina.
And when you can rely on a catcher as a young pitcher to help you through a game, especially if you're a starter, it takes so much pressure off until you learn how to pitch a game or how to set up a hitter. If you can trust your catcher like a Henry Blanco to put down a sign and location as a young pitcher, that's all you have to worry about. Hey, that takes a lot of pressure off.
On speed, strikes out Cabrera, 1 gone. Who are the guys that you could go out there and basically not have to think? Just look at a finger and throw.
One guy that comes to mind was Bob Brentley, who caught me when I first pitched in the big leagues. I had enough trust in Bob He had been around for a while. And we'd go over the scouting reports, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to put down some fingers, and I'm going to throw up the glove and just throw that pitch to my glove, and we'll take our chances. He was the guy who was helping me learn how to set up the hitters. He knew the hitters because he'd been in the league for a while. Takes a lot of pressure off your shoulders.
He'll be wanting to bunt Blanco over. Jake laid down a successful sac bunt in the season opener against the Dodgers here on Monday.
You know who else was good? My brief time in Colorado, Joe Girardi, as a Colorado Rocky. And Joe's, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's gone on to bigger and better things, right?
Well, you talk about a guy that's got a little heat on his on him right
I'm a
now.
big Joe Girardi fan. I always have been.
How'd you like to deal with that day in, day out, being the manager of the
That
Yankees?
payroll, that city, that
Those
press.
expectations.
Oh.
Wow. They did win today. They beat the Royals 6-1. You know, Henry Blanco, he kind of became Greg Maddox's personal catcher for a while in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's right.
Jake offered at it and strikes out. Well, tonight on our Beyond the Box score, Albert Pujols. Well, that's Albert being Albert. 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. Roy Oswalt got knocked around. And you were talking the other night about aces having some rough starts to the season. There's Oswalt giving up 6 earnings in 6 innings. And the Dodgers today clobbered the D-backs 11-2. And Orlando Hudson on a big day with a homer and 3 RBIs.
Eddie Barnes just put a little bug in my ear, and it rang a bell. Remember, Oswalt had a rough start last year. Just again, one of those pitchers, big-time pitchers, who, when it's all said and done, chances are, if you're a betting guy, you guys going to have a pretty good year.
You know, CC Sabathia really had a bad start with Cleveland last year. And he pretty much put the Brewers on his back and carried them to the playoffs.
You know, one of my favorite stories, and I know you should never start a story with 2 outs.
0-1 pitch is down low.
1989, Bruce Hurst came over as a free agent to San Diego Padres from the Boston Red Sox. He's pitching opening day at home. He gets lit. He gives up like 6 or 7, 2 innings. A fan yells up to Mrs. Crockett, luxury suite, "Hey, has the check cleared yet?" They wanted to get rid of him.
Ouch. Ouch, babe. Bounced out to short, charged by Renteria. And the force out at second ends the inning. And Chase Headley led off the frame. Taking it to dead center, 399 feet away. At the end of 6, Padres 6, Giants 1. Weekends, you can get an Upper Reserve ticket, a hot dog, and a Coke, all for only $12 for any Friday through Sunday regular season home game. Get your tickets early and save at Padres.com. Peavy pitches into the 7th. Fred Lewis takes strike 1. Giants send up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Towards the alley in right center field, and Lewis is going to run a while on this one. All the way to the fence. Lewis headed for third. And he's going to be in standing up with a leadoff triple.
Well, he makes it look effortless, doesn't he?
Big strides, long strides.
Off-speed pitch, and you know, he goes down and gets that slider. Well, nearly picked out of the dirt and splits the gap, and as you put it so nicely, Mr. Neely, he's going to run for a while. And Jake elected to go from the full windup. And with the, you know, with the 6-1 lead, you want to get an out here. Most likely you're going to concede the run, right? You still have to make quality pitches. Maybe get a grounder here to get an out. But if it gets to 2 outs and you still have that runner at third base, then you can bear down and try to leave him out there. But Jake's playing for outs right now.
That's going to be deep enough to get Lewis home. Giles and Lewis will trot home. I'll make it a 6-2 game. Molina's 7th run batted into the season on the sacrifice fly.
I'd like to give a shout out to an old friend and former Friar hurler watching back home, Woody Williams, watching this at home in Houston. Big fan of Woodrow. Woody Woodpecker. That guy was a gamer. That guy was a gamer.
Enjoying retirement?
Yeah, that guy will enjoy anything he does. He's got a wonderful family. He's going to succeed at anything he does.
Oh, 2 to Sandoval. Good by him. At 93.
He gone.
Jake is fan 7.
Does he challenge him? That is just straight gas. Let her high and put up another K. Well, yeah, is that Ishmael out there putting up the Ks? Yeah, you bet. And of course, the regular K. Mark Neal, you know this because you've been around. The regular K is
and
swinging.
then there's the backwards K.
And then the backwards K is looking.
Right. And they keep track of that. So we know that there's been one called third strike. Most of them have been swinging strikes. The only one called third strike.
Nice.
Actually on the pitcher. Actually on Velez in the 6th. Now 1-2 the count on Ishikawa. Peavy struck out 8 in 7 innings on opening day here Monday. He's at 7 strikeouts through 6 2/3, and Ishmael's open to post number 8 right here.
Have you met Ishmael yet? You met Luigi the other day.
I've met so many people. I'm not sure if I've met Ishmael. I bet I have.
There he is. There he is right there. You remember meeting him?
Yeah, he was at Fan Day, wasn't he?
Yeah, Fan Fest, yeah.
He was at the Fan Fest the Sunday before the season began. It's going to go foul.
And then Luigi told me that he wasn't going to come to any more games this year because the stress was getting to him. This guy, he lives and dies in Friar baseball. Loves his team. So we saw him at Fan Fest. He goes, "Hey, Mark, I lied. I'm coming to the games this year." I said, "Well, we need you." We need you to rally the troops.
Ishikawa battling Peavy. Jake has thrown 14 pitches in this inning. 13 strikes, 1 ball. So that's a good sign. Jake keeping his command here in the 7th. Just off the outside corner. Only his 2nd pitch out of the strike zone in the inning.
Two-seamer that just runs away, and that's a good call by the home plate umpire.
Had a good.
There's Luigi. Next to open tonight. Nice.
8 strikeouts for Peavy through 7 innings. It's 7th inning stretch time in front of over 35,000 at Petco Park. 6-2 San Diego. San Diego. San Diego fans of the game.
You know, that's what it's all about. Having a son or a daughter going to a big league ball game with your mom and dad or friends. Documenting it on the old-fashioned disposable camera.
Alex Hinshaw, who threw an inning last night, back in tonight.
Well, you've got Eckstein and then 2 lefties due up. Giles and Adrian Gonzalez for the Padres here in the 7th.
Hinshaw, the 3rd Giants pitcher, following Sanchez, the starter, who went 4 2/3, and Metters was an inning and a 1/3 and allowed 1 run on the Chase Headley solo blast. Eckstein has fanned twice. He did walk and score in the 5th. Sends it in the air to left field. Fred Lewis ranging back and makes the catch at the edge of the warning track. Avalanche heating and cooling MLB leaders. Your comfort is our priority. Most career wins by an active manager led by Tony La Russa, but there's Pochi's on that list. Coming up on 1,100 career wins. Of course, most of those right here with the Padres.
You know, a lot of those managers have the luxury of filling out a lineup every day, and I'm talking over the course of their career. Tony La Russa, about 30 years-ish. Bobby Cox, many, many years. But even if Bruce Bochy doesn't have the juggernaut, if you want to call it that, offensive type teams, when it comes to X's and O's and knowing the strategy of the game, he's one of the best.
Pitches up high to Giles. And we talked about catchers a little bit ago. Now, how many managers are former catchers? Seems like a significant portion.
Absolutely. And one guy we mentioned earlier, Joe Girardi. Remember, Bob Brenly was a catcher in his day. He managed the Diamondbacks to a World Championship. Joe Torre caught a little bit, right?
He did.
Third base.
And then they switched him to third base. So actually, maybe I have that backwards. I think he came up as a catcher, and then they switched him to third base for St. Louis.
And then there are pitchers who become managers. Bud Black, Roger Craig, Tommy Lasorda.
Center field. Rowan. Nice running catch. Ball carried well off the bat of Giles.
There's nothing Brian Giles can do about that. He hit the ball squarely, and Rowan utilizing that outfielder's glove like that cesta from a highlight match to make the grab.
I just learned something tonight.
What's
I had
that?
no idea what those things with the kind of hook are called.
Yeah, a cesta.
A cesta.
Yeah.
Really?
That's actually looks kind of like a smaller glove than usual.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
A lot of outfielders have
Yeah,
a much. Well, the pocket looked pretty big when he started to open it there. But there are some guys. There was a time a few years back as Henry slices at the left with Fred Lewis. He's kind of battling. I think the lights. 3 balls in the air off Hinshaw. The Friars go down in order. We're at the end. Now through April 20th, go to SequanCasino.com. This game heads into the 10th inning. Petco Park. Down the line in right. Giles into foul ground. Did he catch it? Long look. Yes! First base umpire Brian O'Nora went down the line and kept looking, and then he saw Brian Giles and says, yes, that's a catch, 1 out. Yes, he did grab that. What a play by Brian Giles in foul ground.
Nobody more familiar with that right field corner than Brian Giles, and nobody more familiar to getting dirty than Brian Giles. Laying out. Sure, it's a 6-2 lead. And as we take a look, Mark, yes, that ball would have been foul, right?
Yes.
It would have been foul, but still laying out and getting that so important first out of the inning.
Torres tried to bunt and missed it. Strike 1. There's Torres. If he gets it past him, no balls, 2 strikes. In the Cubs organization last year at AAA Iowa. He's also appeared in the big leagues with the Tigers and the Rangers. The PB's worked into the 8th here. This is now the longest outing by a Padres starter this year. Jake had gone 7 on opening day. That had been the longest. Threw 105 pitches on opening day in 7 innings, and he's nearing 100 pitches here in the 8th tonight. He's been a little more economical to this point. It's the second out of the 8th. His 9th strikeout.
Watch this ball run right across the heart of the plate. Ball is right down the middle. Belt buckle high. You bet that's a strike.
Eugenio Velez swings at the first pitch, left center. Hairston. Jake Peavy has thrown 8 innings tonight. Coos, Headley, and Blanco coming up for San Diego. SequanCasino.com. And the Dream Seats Sweepstakes. The 4th San Francisco pitcher of the game, Bob Howry.
Well, one of the additions this offseason by the Giants is trying to bolster that bullpen. Of course, Randy Johnson, Jeremy Affeldt from the left side, and Bob Howry. Howry's repertoire, that's kind of tough to say. Fastball, slider, and a split. High 80s, low 90s.
72 appearances for the Cubs last year after making 78 the year before, 84 the year before that with the Cubs. Kuzminoff leading off the 8th for the Padres, swings at the first pitch and skies it to center field. Aaron Rowan trots back in front of the warning track. 1 out. Bob Howry's an interesting story. He drafted by the Giants, spent his first 4 or 5 seasons in their organization, but before making it to the big leagues with the Giants was traded to the White Sox. So he made his big league debut with Chicago, the White Sox in '98. Traded to the Red Sox. Spent a couple years with them, a couple with Cleveland, and then the last 3 years with the Cubs. And then signed as a free agent with the Giants. This is his 2nd appearance of the season with San Francisco, so he's back in his original organization. He's making just his 2nd ever appearance in the big leagues with San Francisco here tonight. In at the knees, strike 1 to Chase Headley. That one up high. Two balls and a strike. Chase homered his last time up and is 1 for 3. And if the Padres can hang on in the ninth, we're looking for a sweep in the series tomorrow, but we'll have to face the reigning Cy Young Award winner Tim Lincecum tomorrow afternoon. 3-1 put out of Headley, 2 outs. Track Ginny live online. Look for Twitter updates at twitter.com/JennyCH4. She was really busy twittering during the rain delay here last night.
Yeah, a lot of people with a lot of questions about what players do during rain delays.
What a night for Henry Blanco. Two solo homers and a single, 3 for 3 for the San Diego catcher. All one low from Howry.
I think Channel 4's got to do a story on that guy. And the Flyer out there, what do you think? Have Jenny
be
talk
good television, sure. I'm for any dedicated fan getting their
I mean, what is the guy?
moment in the sun.
Is he an accountant, like by day, or you know?
Could be. Strike call. All right, let's
maybe a shepherd.
Let's right now. What do you think he does? We'll find out sometime.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna take a guess.
Okay. Don't want to walk the plank there. It's sent foul past third. Kind of what you're getting at, though, is a lot of people who seemingly live ordinary lives, have these jobs, ordinary. Well, I don't even call them ordinary.
I'll bet you he's like an accountant or something like
job,
that.
and then they get out and get to the ballpark and live it up. Yeah. Broken bat, one hopper. Velez throws him out, and Blanco's shot for a 4-hit game. They have just ended. Will Peavy try to go down? 5 hits, no errors. They left only 1. And yes, Jake Peavy. He's thrown 96 pitches. On the mound to try to finish it out.
He has thrown an absolute gem up to this point, and the main thing is that his offense has helped him out a little bit. 1 in the 3rd, 4 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. Leading by 4 to try to finish this one off.
Top of the order coming up for the Giants. Wynn, Renteria, and Lewis.
One complete game for Jake Peavy last year. We talked about it in the pregame show. 10-11 record, below 500, but a 2.85 ERA in that complete game. Came back almost a year ago, more than a year ago, against the Dodgers.
Wynn has 2 of the 5 hits. Doubled and scored in the 4th. Pulls it down the line and right. On the chalk, fair and into the corner. A 3-hit game for Randy Wynn, his 2nd extra base hit. Lead off double in the 9th. Heath Bell gets up in the Friars bullpen.
Boy, that ball's down and in. It looked like it was going to hit the kneecaps of Randy Wynn. How does he keep that ball fair?
He didn't by much. Inches. One on Renteria. He'll be approaching the 100 pitch mark. Beginning with through 105 pitches on opening day.
And once again, here's what the pitch count. I'm not a big fan of the pitch count unless the guys come back from injury, whatever. How are the hitters going to react to a Jake Peavy fastball in the 9th inning on pitch number 99 and 100 as opposed to pitch 10? Right? Well, Renteria had a tough time catching up to that fastball. And the slider, that last pitch, looks like it still has good bite to it.
Still a ball and 2 strikes. Peavy had retired 6 in a row before the Randy Wynn leadoff double here in the 9th. Peavy made 2 starts against the Giants last year and dropped them both. Now the 8th and the 3rd innings pitched for Peavy. It's the longest a pitcher has gone in the big leagues this year.
Up the ladder, the 2-seamer. And once again, Renteria on pitch number 101. Not even close.
The 28th 10 or more strikeout game in the career of Jake Peavy. And strike 1 on Molina.
Wow, he's got tremendous run on that pitch. My goodness. That ball starts on the inside part of the plate to the lefty, and they give up on it. And watch this ball. It comes right over the heart of the plate. A la Greg Maddux, but at 93. Henry Blanco may have come out of the crouch a little bit too soon. That's, no, I take that back. Henry stayed down on that pitch. It was just up a little bit. I beg your pardon.
to first base bag and down the line and right. Wynn will score. And Lewis down to second with a double. It's 6-3.
Jake wants to finish this one. But you know, though, sometimes manager feels, okay, he's given us a great 106 pitch effort. Now, just because Buddy's coming out doesn't mean he's going to take him out. Remember that happened the other night. Oh, he's going to take the rock from him. Great effort. Nice night in the big leagues for Jake Peavy.
This pitching change brought to you by San Diego Harley-Davidson, where we are always country first. Great night for Peavy. Bell coming on. And you look at his line, I think I'm more impressed with the no walks than the 10 strikeouts.
Just a great effort by Jake. He was around the plate, pitching to all quadrants of the strike zone. His slider was biting. He was throwing fastballs by hitters and fastball counts. It was just vintage Jake Peavy that we've seen in the past.
A pitching profile brought to you by RCP Block and Brick. Retaining walls, interlocking pavers, natural stone. Everything for your hardscape needs. Create your dream yard today. Visit rcpblock.com. This is a save situation for Heath Bell.
Put things in contrast. Jake Peavy, 106 pitches in 8 2/3 innings. 8 1/3, I take that back. 8 1/3. Jonathan Sanchez, 92 pitches in 4 2/3.
Lino for 2. He does have a sac fly. Padres trying to hang on here in the ninth. 6-3 San Diego. Oh, 2. Heath Bell threw an inning here on Thursday to get the save over the Dodgers. Gave up a leadoff triple to Orlando Hudson. It's represented the tying run, but got out of it, got the save. He's 2 for 2 in save opportunities. Bounces that one past Blanco, and a wild pitch will advance Lewis to third. Not a big deal in this situation.
He tried to bury a curveball out of the zone. Didn't want to make a mistake. That ball crept right up the heel of the glove of Henry Blanco. That's a tough ball for any catcher to try to block.
Bell did not get in the game last night, but did get up a couple of times. Looked and appeared ready to come in the game. He gets Molina to chase One up and out of the strike zone for out number 2.
Miss it with location. He wanted it down and away, but you know what? Once in a while when the ball gets away from you, it's up around the eyes. It's middle in. Guys will offer it that pitch. That's exactly what happened to Molina.
Keeps the tying run in the on-deck circle. Pablo Sandoval, the batter. Giants are down to their last out. Foul back to the screen. The Rockies lost to the Phillies today 8-4. So if the Padres hang on and win this game, they'll take over first place in the NL West by a half game. Way outside to Sandoval. Just missed through the outside corner. 3-1.
The second look, clearly a ball off the plate, but Henry Blanco trying his best to frame that one.
In foul ground, Kuzminoff. Padres win it 6-3 and win their 3rd consecutive game.